What's your mission?
From Greece.
What is your mission?
Our mission is to show what is happening in the Delta.
That is very right of you. You can see for yourself. You look at the plants in the areas, they can even give you more detail about what we are talking about. We don't lie. Look at the villages. Look at the soil. The area, we have no good water, we can't bath in it. And this is the water we drink, this is the water we bath. We have even lost most of our young ones due to the pollution in the area.
Shell has this broken pump.
Yes, yes.
And Shell hasn't come to fix it.
No.
They never come.
Why?
They do not care about us. They do not care. I never hear anything from them. They want to do us. They want to remove us here. Since that I start fishing here, see the kind of fish we don't get. Only one fish like this. Only one. Because of the oil.
How are you going to feed your family?
I help from God. only farming and farming.
at the spill now. This spill is from crude oil, from the pipe under the beneath. Look at how we suffer. This thing, as you see it now, you can't see anything, fish, nothing whatsoever. No live crop that you will find. Crab, even the least crab, you will not have it. And the people, this cell of a person, will never want to understand with the people that they are suffering from this kind of suffering. Since you people are coming to our aid, extend our cry to the world. Now look at how the people suffer from this oil spill. The monkeys died, the birds, whatever, in fact, anything you can see, there's no live thing that will remain here. Antelope, bees, anything you can think of. So this is how we suffered.
Madam, is there any fish?
No fish, nothing. We don't get anything. My children with me, hungry, they kill us. Not with the oil, on oil. No oil, I make it, we not kill fish.
Η Νιγηρία είναι η μεγαλύτερη πετρελαιοπαραγωγός χώρα της Αφρικής και μία από τις μεγαλύτερες του κόσμου. Όλο το πετρέλαιο της χώρας παράγεται στο νότο, στο δέλτα του ποταμού Νίγηρα. Ο οποίος, καθώς χύνεται στον Ατλαντικό, σχηματίζει έναν από τους μεγαλύτερους υδροβιότοπους του κόσμου, έκτασης 70.000 τετραγωνικών χιλιόμετρων. Πρόκειται για έναν δεδαλώδη λαβύρινθο από υδάτινους δρόμους, μέσα στην πυκνή ζούγκλα. Από τη στιγμή που ανακαλύφθηκαν τα πολύτιμα κοιτάσματα το 1956, εγκαταστάθηκαν εδώ οι σημαντικότερες πετρελαϊκές εταιρείες του πλανήτη. Έχουν σχηματίσει κοινοπραξίες, στις οποίες συμμετέχει και το κράτος, και αντλούν το μαύρο χρυσό από το Δέλτα, περίπου 2,5 εκατομμύρια βαρέλια την ημέρα. Η ηγεμονική κοινοπραξία είναι αυτή τη Shell, που καρπώνεται σχεδόν το 45% της συνολικής παραγωγής.
Nowhere in the world that someone will pollute an environment like that and that person will not be prosecuted. In this country, the bigger you are, the more resources you have, the more you are above the law. In Nigeria, I can kill And because the law will not do anything to me because of my resource, I control about 80% of the revenue of the country, so that becomes the law. These have been spilling. The pressure has pushed some of the valves, and then it has continued to spill for the past 3 years. It does that 24 hours of the day. We have reported this to Shell separately, but they have not come to do it. The time it rains, all this will spill from there, gets onto that place and goes into the stream and then into the river.
Develop other areas, refusing to develop where this source is being done from. These multinational companies have been operating in our region for a very long time, without no development in the area, no employment, no skill activities to empower the youth.
Do the community support you?
The entire Niger Delta are supporting us.
Οι ΜΕΝΤ, το κίνημα για την απελευθέρωση του Δέλτα του Νίγηρα, πρωτοεμφανίστηκαν τον Ιανουάριο του 2006. Έχουν ήδη επιτεθεί στις πιο σημαντικές εγκαταστάσεις της ΣΕΛ, προκαλώντας τεράστιες απώλειες στην παραγωγή πετρελαίου. Ο ακήρυκτος πόλεμος στα ποτάμια του Δέλτα είναι ένας από τους λόγους που αυξάνονται οι τιμές του πετρελαίου διεθνώς.
These particular boats you can see in this area and line up from this region around the Niger Delta, from here to Calabar, with mass number of militant youth. We are not afraid of anybody, even the federal government. So we are telling them to quickly come to our aid, or else we are going to terminate their operation going on now. We are the men. We are fighting for our right.
Αυτή είναι μια από τις εγκαταστάσεις που χτυπήθηκαν. Είναι άδεια από υπαλλήλους, καθώς η ΣΕΛ έδωσε εντολή εκένωσης. Οι κάτοικοι της διπλανής κοινότητας, περίπου 30.000 άνθρωποι, μπορούν πλέον να φτάσουν σε σημεία που δεν έφταναν πριν, καθώς ένα κομμάτι του μοναδικού δρόμου που υπάρχει εξυπηρετούσε μόνο την εταιρεία. Τώρα πηγαίνουν συχνά να χαζέψουν τον άγνωστό τους γείτονα. Τα αντιπλημμυρικά έργα που προστατεύουν τις πετρελαιοπηγές ήταν αυτό που ανακάλυψαν. Είχαν ζητήσει και εκείνοι από την κυβέρνηση να κατασκευάσει αντιπλημμυρικά έργα για να προστατευτεί η κοινότητά τους, που υποχωρεί στη διάβρωση του ποταμού. Δυστυχώς δεν έγινε τίποτα.
You can see how many billions of dollars they've used for shore protection, but they cannot protect the host community. The goose that lays the egg is protected, the goose is abandoned.
we are expecting that we're supposed to live like the laws in Saudi Arabia, we that are producing oil. But it's very sad. You see them, you see the people. People have not eaten for five days. There is no food, nothing to eat, but we produce oil. We are oil people.
We ask you, as you see this community as an oil producing community to sell for all these long years ago, you don't pity it. It look like a place that produces oil to this country? No. We are tired in suffering. Hospital, we don't have hospital here. School, we don't have school. We don't have water. Tobacco, we don't have lights. We are appealing to the international bodies. Please save our soul from this country. Even this country doesn't care for us.
Η Οπορόζα και το Κερενκόκο είναι δύο απομονωμένες κοινότητες χαμένες στα βάθη του Δέλτα. Εδώ ζουν περίπου 20.000 ηθαγενείς της φυλής στο Νάιτζο. Πριν από λίγο καιρό, η ιδιωτική πρωτοβουλία έκανε δυνατή την επαφή τους με τον έξω κόσμο. Υπάρχει σήμα κινητής τηλεφωνίας που φτάνει ίσα-ίσα μέχρι την προβλήτα και ο καταστηματάρχης βγάζει μεροκάματο νοικιάζοντας κινητά. Πέρα από αυτό, οι κάτοικοι δεν έχουν δει άλλες ευκολίες ούτε από το επίσημο κράτος, ούτε από τις πετρελαϊκές που λειτουργούν στην περιοχή τους. Έχουν δίκτυο ηλεκτρισμού χωρίς ρεύμα και μια σκουριασμένη δεξαμενή ίδρευσης που δεν λειτουργήσε ποτέ. Οι κάτοικοι πίνουν νερό από εδώ.
Government will say it is very difficult to go to the riverine area and develop the place because it is a waterlogged area. But it is not difficult to get the riches from the riverine area. You see, the injustice, wickedness. They are using their position to cheat others.
The largest flow station there are flow stations that is in this place and just about few kilometers, about 2 or 3 kilometers away from us. What about Shell? Maybe Shell, maybe more. This John Creek we are talking of, the largest flow stations that produce oil in West Africa. Idly, we could able to get a generating plant. But what this way but we could not have fuel, diesel fuel to put it on. Obama bedo one where Shell be company Molada, Pablo diesel go and help him. We now went to our host company Shell to please give us assistance to put on the light generator in on. But they refuse to do that. But we get back, but we want to get my mom going to get connected to money. I'm a money, tax, dollar, since they refuse to fuel this gen for us, so we now tax ourselves in one way or the other, at least before we can put it on twice in a month. Shell on me, maybe tell me, be our call more Shell is there. They can give us water, good water to drink. They can able to give us light. Even for all this time they have been taking oil from this our land, nothing has been done to us.
The government that doesn't care about its own people, why should share? Shell would prefer, and other oil companies would prefer to buy pages and pages of papers in New York Times, in Times of London and other places to launder their image, rather than put that money back to the communities, where they operate.
Every day interview, we have been suffering. We don't have a beautiful water to go back. What are you going to interview us for now? We need development from you people, yes, normally.
Madam.
Είναι μια λαμπρή εκδήλωση με τον κυβερνήτη της πολιτείας του Δέλτα, James Ivory, παρόντα. Σκοπός της είναι η ανάπτυξη του τουρισμού στην περιοχή.
It is the desire of government to tap extensively into the tourism sector. It is our common desire, therefore, that all stakeholders ensure from oil and gas, which the state is well known. Delta is richly endowed with abundant tourist attraction, particularly cultural and eco-tourism. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Είναι η πρώτη τουριστική έκθεση που διοργανώνεται ποτέ στην πολιτεία του Δέλτα. Ο κυβερνήτης επισκέφθηκε όλα τα περίπτερα της έκθεσης. Το μεγαλύτερο ήταν αυτό της ΣΕΛ.
Hold on a second. I would like to just thank you for everything. Okay. And for the CDs, for everything. Yes, sir. But there are local communities complaining that the shell destroying the...
Hold on, sir. You talk to my boss.
Sir, thank you very much for that.
Okay, you got in some? You have this?
Everything, all the information I need. Okay. But there are still communities that they are complaining that shell is destroying the environment.
We are preaching legally, yeah? And we're following very clearly defined environmental procedures.
And what about the pollution?
We have regulations which we follow, all right? And we have regulators in government that monitor what we do.
But the production has fallen, right?
Yeah, it has fallen because it's fallen because of the crisis we are in. You know, but it affects everybody.
Faisal, any plan to leave the country because of...
No way. Not a single plan like that. we are operating, we are working, and we'll continue to work. Yeah, nothing like going out. We can't go anywhere.
The company is getting rich, but the people are starving to death. What is your comment on that?
I don't have the competence to make any comment on that. Yeah?
Can we give you a talk of SPDC? Let's start from there. Yeah, we are on it. With your systems, Excellency. What we do, look for the oil, drill it out, it's helping to, like we said, and then gas. Your Excellency, gas is one of the things that we have, and we are actually trying to make it available to industry through Shell Nigeria Gas. Nigeria is the third largest exporter of gas to the rest of the world, but there is capacity for much, much more. And Shell has actually developed the technology way ahead of most other
Όταν τα εγγένεια τελειώνουν, ο κόσμος ορμάει στο περίπτερο της Shell για να πάρει όσες περισσότερες μπροσούρες μπορεί και να τις πουλήσει μετά ως χαρτί στο παζάρι.
Where are the mobile policemen here? We need mobile policemen, please. We need mobile policemen here, please.
Η Shell υποστηρίζει ότι μόνο το 2005 δαπάνησε περίπου $100 εκατομμύρια σε προγράμματα υποστήριξης των κοινοτήτων. Ζητήσαμε από τη Shell να μας οδηγήσει σε ένα από αυτά.
The idea behind this project is to empower the community members as well as create employment within the community. We produce tiles, breakable plates, mugs. We produce decorations, ceramic decorations. If you remember those products that are bought we buy from China, those little household decorations, those are the things we want to produce.
We have not truly satisfied with because there is no equipment. The equipment are not here now. Supposing we have the equipment, so that is why I'm using my hand to make out something.
What Shell is doing in the communities is enough or not?
No, it is not enough. So we are waiting for more materials for us to use to develop our handworks.
We see that the federal government and these multinational companies comes to our aid. They must agree to our demands, or else there will be no work in the region. There will be no working. We are not going to allow them coming to work until our requests have been made. Thank you. If there is development in the region, we have no cause for trouble. We are going to allow them to stay and feel more at home.
Τον Μάιο του 2006, με τις υψηλές τιμές εκείνης της περίοδου, η Νιγηρία κέρδιζε από το πετρέλαιο περίπου $3 δισεκατομμύρια το μήνα. Όπως ορίζει το Σύνταγμα της χώρας, το 13% των εσόδων από το μαύρο χρυσό πρέπει να επιστρέφει και να μοιράζεται στις 9 πολιτείες του Δέλτα που παράγουν τον πλούτο. Η κεντρική κυβέρνηση είναι υποχρεωμένη να καταβάλει αυτά τα χρήματα στις τοπικές κυβερνήσεις. Αυτό με απλούς υπολογισμούς σημαίνει ότι η κάθε μια από τις 9 πολιτείες πρέπει να κέρδισε μόνο εκείνον τον Μάιο περίπου $43 εκατομμύρια.
River State, Port Harcourt, where you are now, should be like Paris, if you like.
By my calculation, every village in Ogoni from the past 2 years should have something about 40 to 50 million.
The amount of money that has come into this state should be able to transform the face of Port Harcourt. Where is the money?
Go to Port Harcourt now, just ask any person on the street. People will show you this house is owned by this local government chairman. This house is owned by this local government chairman. The only reason he owns that house is because he was in government, he was in this position. And before then, he had no bicycle. But now he has a house that is, or he has a hotel that is over $1 billion. That's where the money goes. If you go also in South Africa, I mean, go to some foreign banks, you will see the money. That's what is happening.
This house belongs to the current speaker, River State House of Assembly. This one belongs to the Deputy Speaker, River State House of Assembly. He is a politician as well. This house also belongs to another politician.
It's a great house.
Yes, very great, very large. It enters all inside there, all one person. All this house, one person.
Ο κύριος Γκράχαμ Ντάγκλας ζει σε ένα σπίτι 300 δωματίων. Φοράει χρυσά κοσμήματα, στολισμένα με πολύτιμους λίθους. Ο κύριος Γκράχαμ Ντάγκλας διετέλεσε 4 φορές υπουργός της Ομοσπονδιακής Κυβέρνησης. Τόσο κατά την περίοδο της Δημοκρατίας, όσο και κατά την προηγούμενη περίοδο της Χούντας. Ρίχνει τις ευθύνες για την κατάσταση στο Δέλτα στις κυβερνήσεις και στους πολιτικούς.
I believe that successive governments have not been really genuine in tackling the problems of the Niger Delta. Otherwise, how would you reconcile in 2006 that in most of the places that oil are produced, they still, as you describe it, they are below the poverty line?
You, as a Minister of Labour in the federal government, did you manage to do something for the people of the Niger Delta?
I provided a policy to create a lot of jobs. And I believe that my efforts and methods, if given trial, would have been successful. But I was not long enough in the ministry to be able to see its actualization.
People say that the politicians are corrupted. What is your comment on that?
Personally, I am lucky that all through my political careers and so on, I maintain rectitude.
It's an empty classroom. As you can see, we don't have any desk. We don't have any desk inside. There are no desks, and students use the floor when it's time for them to learn. And most of the classrooms are like that. When government will be making requests to governments that they should provide desks in the school, but all to no avail. Up to this time, as you can see, the classroom is empty.
You know why they want to marginalize us? They want to kind of, it's like more or less exterminating the people that are inhabitants of this place. Because by the time I'm schooled, I'll be able to know that there's an environmental degradation in my place. There's environmental pollution in my place. The water I drink is not properly treated. You understand? In other words, you want to exterminate my life and the people in the area. That's why they won't put schools. You understand what I'm saying? So these are the issues. If they educate me, I'll be able to know the hazards that I'm living in.
People go, even till today, in some communities, go to a crude, where there's a spill, collect crude and put in a bottle. Just like you probably go and buy water or something. Put crude because they think it's medicinal. People still think that if you are poisoned from something and you drink crude, that the crude will, cure that disease. This is here in the Niger Delta.
Obasanjo faces vast challenges if he is to turn around one of Africa's potential superpowers. Perhaps the greatest challenge is to nurture its fragile democracy.
Quite frankly, since 1999, what you realize is that these people are just, what changed in Nigeria was the military uniform. People just put civilian clothes on top of their military mind.
He will do what no other Nigerian has done before him: hand power to a democratically elected successor.
The report for that election was written here. And categorically, nobody was elected. In the 6 core Niger Delta state, nobody was elected by anybody. It was gone. People shot their way to office.
Πολλοί πολιτικοί προσέλαβαν άεργους νέους του Δέλτα, διψασμένους για χρήματα, και τους όπλισαν. Το καθήκον τους ήταν να εξασφαλίσουν στους εργοδότες τους το επιθυμητό εκλογικό αποτέλεσμα.
They recruited them and they gave them arms on election day.
For what reason?
To win election, to steal ballot boxes, to intimidate ordinary people. A lot of people were killed in River State, for one, in River State, a lot of people were killed here on election day. Me, as a person, somebody put AK-47 on my head.
Who created the monster, the rulership? We created a monster. This monster we could not control. I believe that we politicians must have given these young, innocent, unsuspecting youth the arms to defend our respective territories and to see that we won the election at all costs. After the elections, we had no means of taking back the arms.
You might create a group to get you into power. Once you're in power, you cannot become a hostage to that group because they will be demanding. They want more than you can offer. And they now create something bigger than what the initial agenda.
Are people who were not originally freedom fighters, who were introduced to guns by politicians. And when they fell out with politicians, they decided to use that gun to blackmail politicians. If the governor of River State, the governor of Delta State want to get rid of men on their own, they know where they sleep. They know their houses, they know their families. We have traditional way of doing things in this place. They can put pressure on a father to bring out his son, and the father will do it. They know where they live, they know where they sleep. The cliques of the Niger Delta are well known by Niger Deltans. What are the interests of governors in having people shoot? It benefits them. Sometimes it benefits them more than it benefits even those who are in the cliques. Because when those boys are shooting, a lot of attention is focused on the people who are shooting. They are busy stealing public money, using public money for whatever they want. Nobody's talking about that.
Οι οπλισμένοι ηθαγενείς του Δέλτα είναι ο πονοκέφαλος των εταιρειών πετρελαίου και της κυβέρνησης του Προέδρου Ομπασάντσο που τους χαρακτηρίζει τρομοκράτες. Το χειρότερο δεν είναι οι επιθέσεις στις πετρελαϊκές εγκαταστάσεις, αλλά το ότι οι αντάρτες κατά τη διάρκεια των επιχειρήσεών τους παίρνουν ομήρους. Ξένους εργαζόμενους, λευκούς, που έτυχε να βρίσκονται στο λάθος σημείο τη λάθος στιγμή.
Why do you kidnap foreign oil workers?
We are doing this to attract the federal government and these multinational companies to quickly come to our aid.
Η ομοσπονδιακή κυβέρνηση του Προέδρου Ομπασάντσο για να αντιμετωπίσει τους αντάρτες έχει στείλει στο Δέλτα του Νίγηρα ένα ειδικό μεικτό στρατιωτικό σώμα που αποτελείται από μονάδες του στρατού ξηράς, της αεροπορίας και του πολεμικού ναυτικού της Νιγηρίας.
Yeah, you can also see the federal government has been using the JTF against us, bombing our areas, our villages, by air, by water, and you can see that we are fair.
You don't afraid to die.
Yeah, thank you, sir. We don't die. We don't die in battle. We fight to the end.
Μέσα στους πρώτους 6 μήνες δράσης τους, οι ΜΕΝΤ απήγαγαν 29 ξένους που δούλευαν στη βιομηχανία του μαύρου χρυσού. Τους απελευθέρωσαν όλους, παίρνοντας λίτρα. 9 από αυτούς λέγεται πως τους μετέφεραν και τους κράτησαν στη γνωστή μας απομακρυσμένη κοινότητα, ο Κερενκόκο.
We this community, we don't kidnap persons.
We are don't crow better so we one is away beam in the camera where tema wapre so we beam in tema wa me where man pamu
Like if you have been oppressing us always that way, if we cannot go and fight, our God sent himself to go and fight and made a victory to us.
Does the local community support MENT?
This community has been exist for a long time being.
We were there, waiting for them, to receive them as we have now received you.
As guests?
As guests. Yes. Because what we were made to understand was that they were coming to patrol our waters against sea pirates, against bunkering, oil bunkering and all these things. Gunshots heralded their coming. We thought they were just telling us that they have arrived. We never knew they were right in business. This whole town was blazing. Fathers, mothers, children, old men shouting and running. Women were huddled up. Women were trying to protect their children and shouting, crying. The whole town was demolished, burnt and demolished. We are running out, not knowing which way to go. Old men shouting and running. Those who could not run were burnt where they were. Some on their beds, some on the streets. And on top of it, chiefs were made to eat sand. And the king of this kingdom was forced to sit on the ground, on the sands.
If there is a crime maybe in a community, the reaction of the Joint Task Force has always been as if they are in a war front. They will drop bombs, they will wipe an entire community. They are also part of the problem because you do not cure violence by violence.
Στην περιοχή υπάρχουν πλούσια κοιτάσματα τα οποία προσπαθεί να εκμεταλλευτεί η ΣΕΛ. Οι κάτοικοι του Οντιώμα έλεγαν ότι αυτή είναι δική τους έκταση και απέρριπταν τα σχέδια της εταιρείας. Άλλωστε, οι υπεύθυνοι της ΣΕΛ δεν είχαν έρθει σε επαφή μαζί τους, αλλά με τους πρεσβύτερους δύο άλλων κοντινών χωριών, οι οποίοι καθοδόν προς μια πολύ σημαντική συνάντηση δολοφονούνται από αγνώστους. Για το έγκλημα των 12 προεστών κατηγορείται αμέσως η κοινότητα Οντιώμα και έτσι εισβάλλει ο στρατός. Πολλοί εξέφρασαν από την αρχή υπόνοιες ότι το περιστατικό ήταν μια προβοκάτσια προκειμένου η ΣΕΛ να ξεκαθαρίσει μια και καλή τους λογαριασμούς της με το αγκάθι που λεγόταν Οντιώμα και το οποίο για πολύ καιρό αντιτασσόταν στα σχέδιά της.
Chevron is known to have bought guns and given to youths in Warri area to fight against youths who are against what Chevron is doing in that area. Shell is known to have bought guns here in Rivers State and given to the Nigerian police and to people to use the way they like.
I have it on very good authority, I mean, from Shell sources about how they have to even purchase some gunboats for the joint task force. And in one particular case, to show the compromise in the thing, the joint task force, some of them said, we didn't want you to buy us the boat. We want you to give us the money. Was a renowned writer in this part of the world. He led the movement that I was his deputy president.
Ήταν η πρώτη φορά στη σύγχρονη ιστορία της χώρας όπου οι ηθαγενείς ύψωσαν το ανάστημά τους μπροστά στις πετρελαϊκές εταιρείες. Οι ογκόνοι του Δέλτα ζητούν ειρηνικά δικαίωμα στην επιβίωση.
Indigenous people have been cheated through laws such as are operated in Nigeria today, through political marginalization. They have driven certain people to death.
Ο συγγραφέας Κεν Σαροουίβα, ογκόνη και ο ίδιος, είχε καταφέρει με μοναδικό όπλο της λέξης του να κινητοποιήσει 500.000 ανθρώπους και να κάνει γνωστό διεθνώς τον τρόπο με τον οποίο λειτουργούν οι πετρελαϊκές εταιρείες σε αυτή τη γωνιά του πλανήτη.
I do not want any blood spilt, not of an Ogoni man, not of any strangers amongst us. We are going to demand our rights peacefully, non-violently, and we shall win.
If it were then, you would have seen gas flares, even very close to the villages. We were living almost about 200 meters from huge gas flares. These pollutions were there, pipelines were crisscrossing in front of people's houses. And we thought that we were going extinct. And so we thought that it was important to bring this to the attention of their home governments to say, look, these guys who are good citizens in your part of the world are actually killing us here. We accuse them of environmental racism, sort of.
Οι διαδηλώσεις κατεστάλησαν βίαια. Παραστρατιωτικές ομάδες δολοφονούσαν και τρομοκρατούσαν τους ογκόνοι.
The Nigerian government was not amused by that. And in conspiracy with Shell, there were several detentions. We spent about 19 months. I shared the same cell with him for 19 months. We were tried together. And they executed him with several of my colleagues.
It was Shell that more or less, killed Ken Saro-Wiwa. Because they wanted oil in Ogoni. Simple. Get rid of this man so that we can take oil. Ken Saro-Wiwa did not fight with AK-47. Ken Saro-Wiwa fought with leaves, mobilizing people on the street, but he was killed. And that was also another lesson in Niger Delta. why should we continue to protest and talk about oil without gun when the authorities have gun? They put gun against you.
That's why you see many people in those areas. You see the men people saying all those sort of things. When I went to see them, and they told me, so look, I tried to preach to them against normal. They said they are surprised why a person like me should say so, because you will have died. If we have done what we are doing now, maybe they wouldn't have killed cancer when we were. In some points, you can say there is some sense in what they are saying.
We all stand before you. I am a man of peace, of ideas. Appalled by the denigrating poverty of my people who live on a richly endowed land. Distressed by their political marginalization and economic strangulation. Angered by the devastation of their land, their ultimate heritage. I have no doubt at all about the ultimate success of my cause. No matter the trials and tribulations which I and those who believe with me may encounter on our journey, neither imprisonment nor death can stop our ultimate victory.